Well, all right, y'all. Got a few things here. Got some new cars that I got, and an answer on the amp chassis that didn't work. Be very hard to see, but that thing I've been calling a capacitor, it's broken right at the pickup solder. That's that where I was talking about the point of failure could easily. I don't know if you can see it while I'm wiggling it, but it's it's busted on the front, but that's okay. When I modify it, I take that out anyway. And I checked it out with a meter. It's actually not a capacitor, it's an inductor. And that inductor goes on the board where there are two other inductors and three capacitors. So that board forms what they call a LC network, right? And it's a filter to reduce interference. Later, I'm going to pull out a spectrum analyzer and hook it up and check and see how effective this circuitry is, because I think it's a waste of time. It doesn't have any kind of power controller or anything. It's not a smart board. And they would be better off building that with pigtail components and soldering them all together and then hot glue it or something, but it would be physically larger. But so I'll cover some more of that later on, doing a little slot car science. And then the Plymouth Satellite, as somebody identified for me, the front pocket, that front brush, is turned sideways in there. So there's no spring tension, it's just jammed in there. So every time I run it, it rakes a little bit off that one sharp edge of a round button, but it's far enough up there that it conducts. So I need to disassemble that, clean that button up. I might have to replace the spring. It's probably been spread out by that thing being jammed in there. But it's the, I said front one, but it might. No, it's the back one. So it's the one nearest the axle. I don't know if you can see it. I'll wiggle it around a little bit. Maybe you can see it. But on that front one, you can see the flat face of the little button on the brush. That's what you should see when you put them together. And it should turn smoothly. This one, it doesn't feel bad physically by fingers, but when it's running, it was a racket. Y'all heard it. So, need to take that one apart and fix it as well as that. But then I got this gem at my local hobby town yesterday. It's a 132 Scalextric. It's an older one. It's probably been on the shelf since 2017 or so. And it was, they had a 10% off sale, so I just looked for the cheapest one they had. And this one was half the price of all the others, but it happened to be the one I liked. And I don't have a Honda 132 yet, so got that cool thing. I got some eBay bodies in. Pile of Corvettes. I paid 29 bucks for 4. And I got a bunch of those Pro Tinker Extra bodies that I'm going to take the mirrors off, because the mirrors are missing both on that one. One of the mirrors on the silver car. And I don't have a whole lot of Chevys, as y'all might know. I have very few Corvettes, but when you're into collecting, and I'm not a collector, I just like cars. But but when you get a bunch of them, then there ain't many that you haven't had out of the Tyco world, other than the very old hard ones to find that cost too much. But this one is in amazing shape. I'm gonna take it out of the package. I couldn't believe how clean that is. Usually, and I don't like chrome cars, but that's definitely different with the, looks like pink and orange stripes. But that thing is super clean, and I only want to put a chassis under it one time. I had a van recently that I got, and it was brand new, never used body, but as soon as I spread the thing, the whole side cracked off of it. That's what happens with 30, 40-year-old plastic, but that's pretty sharp for a Corvette, for a Chevy, y'all. It almost looks like a funny car. It's, I guess, the GT version. But that's the gem out of the bunch, actually. And it can be lighted, so we'll have to put a bulb on there, too. And then this one is a bit old, the 60s. Seems to have a little color fade, maybe a little wash will make that nice. But it's red plastic. Red and blue plastic is the most fragile. So I might only want to put that one on a body one time too. Looks like original Tyco. I don't think that's a Mattel made one. But there we go. So 4 Corvettes. I had bought the 222 version of this about a week ago, maybe. It was in one of my videos recently because I thought I had the other one that I believed was number 2, but I was incorrect. It's actually number 7. And so I had to take the 222 back that I bought because I was partially correct. It had a 2, just 3 of them. So I rebought the 222, had to take it back. And then my buddy Don was up in Columbia, and I said, well, take any pictures of any cars you see. And I said, yes, on this one. So I got both of those Chaparrals and the JDM pickup, which is pretty cool. A couple Hobby Lobby specials there. Can't go wrong with the Hobby of Lobby. And then the last thing, I'll get the box. So I bought one of these. This is a very simple lap counter, and it's designed by Scale Electrics, and it's a 132. Very simple thing, but I have the Arc Pro controller that does lap times and all that stuff, but this wasn't too expensive, and they're 10% off price. I bought it for a project, and I already did it. I'll show you the project, but like I said, it's a real simple one. You just hit the one button, you put in how many laps up to 99, and then it records the lap. And then when you're done, it gives you the fastest lap time. So that's pretty cool. But what I did with it, like I said, it showed up in this configuration, right? So the only thing that beep is quite annoying. What I did was remove the 132 portion. On the underside, it had 2 wafer switches, which is a simple modification. And those wafer switches, when the guide flag goes through the groove, it mashes the micro switch that's formed by those 2 arms and registers a lap. So what I did, you can see I added a piece of 9-inch AFX track. Looks kind of junky on the bottom because I used so much hot glue, but I didn't want that to come off. I could have ran a cable and just done it, but so inside of here, where the 4 wires were, I just soldered on 2 of the reed switches and glued them approximately next to each other. But on the, I used the lower rail on this one and that one too. I could have went to the higher rail for better separation, but it doesn't seem to have erroneous. But while you're in here, so this is a simple conversion, just works off of 2 batteries. The only thing that's weird, it doesn't have a power switch other than you hit it to make it come on. It'll time out after a while and go off. But you can take a, so if, let's say, put 4 laps in, I'm not sure which one that is. It's obviously that lane. So there's first lap. Oh, I got a double hit on that. Oh no, that was the time, 2.4 seconds. And it's done. And the fastest lap was 2.4 seconds. And what did I do? Probably, my batteries are, oh, here, we got to reset. So I do 3 laps on lane 1. Wait a little bit, 3, and then last lap. And you can see, pretty cool. Like I said, so that's a fairly cheap project. I think it was 32 bucks, maybe 30 bucks after their reduction. But I don't know why Auto World can't build something like that. That's pretty simple. It'd be better if it was like your Carrera ones, where you can get total time and then individual lap time. But this only goes down to a resolution of a tenth of a second. So you couldn't get if you started getting real low times, you couldn't get a very good discrimination between the actual speed. But for what it is, so now I got a Scale Electrics AFX lap counter timer. So, but it would be cool just to throw together, and if you want to race with somebody, you know, to determine as long as you could tolerate that. I'm going to go by and pick up they had a couple more on the shelf. I'm going to go ahead and pick them up, and I'll make at least one more like this. I might keep the other one original because I have plenty of that old track. And next one, I might stick a little piece of plastic under that piezo speaker that's in there, and maybe I'll do a video of a full conversion. It took me about an hour and a half, I think. So as long as the tape don't run out on my iPhone here, we'll be good to go. All right, y'all. Take care.